All right, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the world of headhunting.
Headhunting.
Yeah, but not just any headhunting.
Okay.
We're talking about the no-hold-barred search for sales superstars.
Sales superstars.
Yep, in the, shall we say, niche market of PPE garments.
PPE garments. That's interesting.
It is, right. And we're getting all our intel from a case study done by the sales experts.
Those guys, they know what they're doing.
They really do.
So what'd they find?
Well, they were helping a client build a sales team from scratch. And get this, they interviewed over 800 people for just one of the roles.
800. Wow, that's dedication.
Right. So today, we're going to break down their strategy, see what worked, why it worked.
I'll see if there are any lessons we can all learn. Right.
Exactly. Whether you're building a team or just trying to stand out in your own career, this deep dive should have something for everyone.
Sounds good. I'm ready to dig in.
Let's do it. So first, let's set the stage. Imagine this.
Okay.
Our client is a big manufacturer of PPE garments.
Like heavy-duty stuff.
The real deal. Industrial settings, firefighting, even defense. They do it all.
So I'm guessing they were looking to expand.
Big time. They wanted to ramp up their sales operation.
Hit some aggressive growth targets, I bet.
You got it. And they knew they needed a top-notch team to make it happen.
But finding top sales talent in a niche market like that gotta be tough.
Seriously tough.
Yeah.
And they weren't messing around. They wanted the absolute best of the best.
The top 1%.
Exactly. So we're talking about 5 key positions they needed to fill.
Okay, lay them on me.
Head of sales, key account manager, defense industry sales manager, firefighting industry manager, and Germany country manager.
Whoa, wait, rewind.
Yeah.
Germany country manager.
They were going global.
Ambitious.
Right. And none of these were entry-level gigs.
I was going to say, these are some serious roles.
Experienced pros with proven track records, that's who they were after.
Makes sense. You need people who can hit the ground running, closing deals from day one.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you can't just find those folks by posting a job online.
Nope.
No.
Not going to cut it for these kinds of positions.
So what did they do? They went on a full-blown talent hunt.
Yeah.
The sales experts called it a headhunting approach.
So instead of waiting for applications, they went out and found the people they wanted.
Exactly. They built custom databases, researched potential candidates, the whole 9 yards.
Talk about proactive.
Right. And here's the kicker. They didn't just rely on resumes.
Oh, so how'd they vet these folks?
In-depth interviews, for one.
Yeah, it's standard.
But get this, they also used this crazy specialized assessment called the Sales Hunter Intelligence Evaluation Assessment.
Sales hunter, huh?
Sounds intense.
It was designed to go way beyond just skills and experience.
Dig into their personality, their sales instincts, that kind of thing.
Exactly. How they think, how they solve problems.
Like a personality test, but for sales superstars.
You got it.
And they managed all this with a pretty small team, right?
Surprisingly small. 1 business development manager, 2 senior recruiters, and 6 talent acquisition managers. Huh. Not a huge crew for such a massive undertaking.
I know, right? And each of those roles, filling one, took an average of 13 to 16 weeks.
Wow, so we're talking almost 4 months per hire.
On average, yeah.
Yeah.
They really committed to finding the perfect fit.
That's a big investment of time and resources.
Definitely raises some questions, right?
For sure. Like, is this level of effort sustainable for all companies?
Exactly. Not every business has the luxury of spending months searching for one person.
Even if that person is a superstar.
Totally. So they put in the time, the resources, the effort, but did it pay off?
I guess that's the million-dollar question.
Let's dig into the results and find out.
Well, the short answer is they did it.
They filled all 5 roles.
Yep. They built what they called a powerful, disciplined, and organized sales team.
Okay, but I'm guessing there's more to the story, right?
Oh, absolutely. The numbers behind those results are what's really fascinating.
All right, hit me with the numbers. I got the case studies results chart right here.
Good.
Some of these figures are pretty wild.
Like, mind-blowing wild.
Let's start with the head of sales position, the one they interviewed over 800 people for.
Oh, yeah, that one.
They actually considered 1,481 candidates.
1,481.
Seriously, that's insane.
I mean, I can't even imagine going through that many resumes.
It's a testament to how thorough their process was, right?
Absolutely. No stimming applications here.
So that's where those custom databases and direct outreach really paid off.
Definitely. They had a multi-stage approach, really narrowed down the field.
So first, they weeded out anyone who didn't meet the basic requirements.
Right. Initial screening.
And then they do what they call agency-side interviews.
Basically, the recruitment firm did the first round of interviews, right?
Yeah, kind of like a pre-screening before the client got involved.
Making sure the candidates were legit.
Exactly. Checking qualifications, personality fit, all that.
So for head of sales, they narrowed it down to 26 people for those agency-side interviews.
26 out of 1,481.
And from there, only 4 candidates were presented to the client for the final interviews.
Wow. So it really was like a funnel.
A very, very selective funnel.
Gradually narrowing it down until they found the perfect fit.
Exactly. And they followed a similar process for each of the 5 roles.
Okay, so let's walk through some of the other roles. What about the key account manager?
That one, they started with a pool of 704 candidates.
Still a huge number.
After screening and those agency-side interviews, they presented 3 people to the client.
Yeah, okay, so still pretty intense. And I'm guessing finding a defense industry sales manager was even more specialized, right?
Definitely. Needed someone with experience selling to, like, the UK Ministry of Defense.
Wow, high stakes.
International defense organizations, too.
So not just anyone could walk into that role.
Nope. They started with 483 candidates. 23 made it to agency-side interviews. 3 went to the client.
Interesting. So even with a smaller pool, they kept those high standards.
Absolutely. Rigorous throughout the entire process.
What about the firefighting industry manager? Similar story.
Very
They needed someone who really knew the ins and outs of that world, right?
deep experience with fire brigades, understanding their unique needs.
Nice.
516 candidates initially, 27 interviewed, 3 presented to the client.
Okay, so no compromises even for those highly specialized roles.
It's clear they valued finding the perfect fit no matter what.
And lastly, the Germany country manager. I bet language skills were a big factor there.
Huge factor. Fluent German was non-negotiable.
Yeah, got to be able to communicate.
833 candidates, 26 interviewed, and 4 went to the client for the final decision.
It's fascinating. They cast a wide net, but stayed super selective the whole way through.
Shows how much they valued finding the right person for each role.
Right. Makes you wonder, is this the future of recruitment?
Is this intense headhunting the new normal?
That's a big question.
I mean, the results are impressive, no doubt.
Stellar team.
But can every company afford this kind of time and money for recruitment?
That's the thing.
It's a good question. There's a lot to consider.
Company size, the role itself, the budget.
Absolutely. But even if you can't replicate this exact approach.
There are still lessons to be learned, right?
Definitely.
Regardless of your company's size.
So what are some key takeaways here? What can we learn, even if we don't have a team of 6 talent acquisition managers?
I think one thing's for sure, we're definitely seeing a shift in how companies approach recruitment.
Towards a more personalized, targeted approach.
Exactly. This case study, it's a pretty extreme example,
I'm sure.
but it does highlight some important trends.
Like what?
Well, companies are getting more strategic, more proactive, and they really value those specialized skills.
So gone are the days of just posting a job and hoping for the best.
Pretty much. If you want the top talent, you got to put in the work.
Do the research, build those relationships,
It's less like fishing with a net.
and more like spearfishing.
Exactly. You're going after specific targets,
So if you're a company, be more like a spearfisher.
carefully targeting the exact talent you need.
Love that analogy.
And if you're a job seeker, well, you need to make yourself a desirable target. Okay, so how do you do that? Stand out from the crowd.
It goes back to what we talk about, specialization.
Finding your niche, that thing you're truly passionate about.
Right. And being exceptionally good at it.
So develop those niche skills and then, what, shout it from the rooftops.
Basically, showcase those skills, make sure potential employers see what you bring to the table.
So it's not just about listing skills on a resume.
Nope, you got to go deeper, give context.
Show how you've used those skills to achieve results, right?
Exactly. Highlight projects that prove your expertise.
Paint a picture of yourself as a valuable asset.
Someone who can solve specific problems.
Fill those specific needs.
Exactly. And don't forget about networking.
Oh yeah, networking is key.
Reach out to people in your field, go to industry events, build those connections.
You never know where that next opportunity will come from.
That's the truth.
Networking's so valuable, whether you're job hunting or just trying to learn and connect.
Couldn't agree more.
But there's another piece of the puzzle here, something we haven't really talked about yet.
What's that?
Company culture.
Ah, yes. It's not just about finding the right skills and experience, is it?
Nope. It's also about finding the right fit.
Someone who meshes with the company's values, their mission, their whole vibe.
Exactly. In this case study, they wanted people who were Powerful, disciplined, and organized.
So even with the right skills, if you're not a good cultural fit,
It's not going to work out long term.
and for companies, that means being upfront about their culture.
What they stand for, what kind of people thrive there.
It's like dating, you know? You can be attracted to someone.
But if you're not compatible at a deeper level,
It's just not going to last.
another great analogy.
Ah.
So finding the right fit is crucial, whether you're the company or the job seeker.
It can make or break the whole experience.
This deep dive has been so insightful, really eye-opening.
Glad to hear it.
We've learned a lot about headhunting, those PPE garment sales, and the future of recruitment.
It's a fascinating world out there.
Before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is both companies and job seekers need to adapt to this changing landscape.
Things are evolving quickly.
So don't be afraid to try new things, experiment a bit.
Always be learning, right?
Exactly.
Well said. So, to our listeners, as you continue on your own journey, whether you're building a team or chasing that dream job, remember what we've talked about today.
Invest in the right talent.
Be strategic. Be proactive.
And never underestimate the power of specialization and finding that perfect fit.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you, a real deep dive into the world of headhunting and recruitment.
Thanks for having me. I always enjoy these conversations.
Until next time, folks, happy hunting.